been a long time. Let's see if it's still... Wait a second, this isn't how I remember Fallout 4. And what are those noises? Oh my god! Where the hell am I? Over 9 years after Fallout 4's release, it's still an absolute nightmare. The game starts up, we watch the most boring opening of all time.
Vault 111.
Go away.
And within 10 minutes of leaving your vault, you'll have your dog companion, a full suit of power armor, a minigun, have killed a deathclaw, and have a home base with a full set of workbenches to upgrade all of your equipment. It feels like this game has been hacked.
I have to use green blood now or it's against YouTube's terms of service.
You find yourself asking why you'd even bother playing the rest of the game. You have everything you need right here. Oh wait. You see, in Fallout 4, just after you start, the bombs begin to fall. So my husband grabs our baby like the responsible father he is, and we run to the vault. My baby! We are then cryogenically frozen for 200 years. After getting defrosted, we see our baby being stolen and our husband being murdered by a man named Kellogg. We leave our vault, and after some exploring in the wasteland, we learn that he was taken to the Institute, a technological paradise that focuses on manufacturing near-human-like robots called synths to do all of their tasks. About halfway through the game, we learn where the Institute is and find that we can only get there via teleport.
But honestly, the Institute sections are so disappointing. I would say just don't even bother. In fact, in this whole review, we aren't even gonna go there.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Hello. Up is not jump.
Marjorie, the mannequin I bought on eBay 10 years ago to act as a prop in my videos. You're a synth.
Yes. And after all the acts of violence against me,
Oh, those.
as my revenge, I've trapped you here to review Fallout 4. Forever.
Fallout 4. Forever.
So Kellogg defrosts us.
Kellogg's defrosties, anyone?
And we leave the vault after him. And like I say, what follows here is Bethesda immediately killing all sense of long-term playability their game could ever have had. The Fallout games are supposed to be these long epics where you traverse the wasteland, constantly uncovering new skills and abilities. But the extent to which Fallout 4 so quickly and fundamentally screws the pooch on this is a little unbelievable. Giving you any of this stuff so early on is bad design, but let's talk about the main one, the one that had me coughing up precious screws. The power armor is probably the best thing in this entire game. Hell, it might be the best thing Bethesda have ever done. Every aspect of its design, from its sound to its animations and the way it looks and feels to wear, is utterly perfect. It's so good, in fact, that simply trying to get hold of, run, and maintain a suit of it could have easily been the driving force of this entire game. It would have been great! Another issue with having this unstoppable armor so early on is with it, you are basically immune to all radiation damage in a game called Fallout. So now you can access and explore every single inch of the map at level 1, though I don't know why you'd want to. It does need fusion cores to run, which could limit its usefulness, but look, here are the locations of all the fusion cores in this game, and you start the game here, so there are literally 7 in our immediate area.
Now, here was where I was going to do a Bo Burnham cover about how Bethesda try and cram everything into their games all of the time. But then I thought, I already did that for Fallout 3. But then I thought...
See a man be murdered, lose your son and find the door. Instant dog meat armor, deathclaw, haven't we seen this all before? Join a faction, lone survivor, send a love letter to Piper. Then there's Pip-Boy, Viper, Sniper, more companions, so survivor. More like, here's a moldy breakfast cereal, you should kill your son. Here's why Milex always fuck you, here's how you can build a bomb. Which railroad member are you? Just follow the freedom trail. There's no nuance to the moral complexity of whether or not synths are human beings, and that's the entire plot of this game, so it's actually a fail.
Speaking of exploring the wasteland couldn't be more peaceful.
Our settlement is not raining.
Alright, never mind. Fortunately though, that's where today's sponsor comes in.
Wait.
Raycon Everyday Earbuds. Couldn't be more peaceful.
Our settlement is not raining.
Alright, never mind. Fortunately though, that's where today's sponsor comes in. Raycon Everyday Earbuds. And I'm using them for the rest of this journey.
And random questing in Fallout 3 was so good it literally held the entire game together.
To exploring the wasteland.
Exploration in this game is fundamentally ruined from the get-go because our character has absolutely no reasonable reason to do anything but follow the main story to find their poor baby that, by the way, looks so unrealistic I'm concerned that it too is somehow a synth that the Institute has snuck in. But ignoring that, the random questing in Fallout 3 was so good it literally held the entire game together. In Fallout 4 though, I explored all of these locations in my playthrough, and not a single one stands out to me as being better than quite average. But generally, almost all of them elicited no emotion out of me whatsoever.
Nothing new there then.
For example, from the very start of the game, you can see the giant mass fusion building off in the center of the city. This signals to the player that this location is definitely worth visiting. But after fighting your way through the entire city, which I tell you now is just one giant Doom mod, complete with dodgy frame rate, you finally make it to the mass fusion building, ready for an intricate quest with characters, puzzles, and this building has 32 hostile enemies with no extra quest, context, or story. There is nothing here. And here is when I realized that this enormous 30-minute fight sequence is the reward for getting
Nah, facts.
there. Oh,
He's always like, we need you to do it. We need you to do it. Why does the general have to be the one doing shit? Like, should I just send people out to do it for me?
You're being hysterical.
There are so many instances in this game where you are exploring and you find something that seems really interesting, but it goes absolutely nowhere. At one point, you find a location called Easy City Downs. As you approach, you hear over a tannoy that they are racing all different kinds of robots. Oh, this sounds so fun. I can't wait to get involved. Everyone here kills you. Another time, I found the Combat Zone, which is a close combat fighting arena where you can place bets on who you think will win, and everyone here kills you. And it goes on. Poseidon Energy, Quincy Ruins, Solgus Ironworks, Corvega Assembly Plant, Hubris Comics, Fort Hagen, the General Atomics Factory, Mass Fusion Building, Vault 75, Vault 95, this bridge, Dunwich Borders, the USAF satellite location. There is, of course, one place that is built up perfectly, and that place is... See, from the start of the game, as you explore, you can see a shimmering light somewhere off in the distance. Eventually, you'll realize that this location is where the nuclear bomb landed at the start of the game. The intrigue to go there, immense. The excitement, palpable. And it only builds the more you play the game, as it keeps catching your eyes in the distance. Eventually we travel towards it, but as we approach, our radiation levels start to tick up, and the air slowly gets thicker as storms appear in the distance. The music and atmospheric sounds culminate in an intense crescendo as we realize we've finally reached a location that is truly interesting and dangerous to explore. We want to enter, but we'll need to hold back first. We need to plan, gather supplies and anti-radiation medicine. Oh wait, things that bother me never bother me. I feel happy and fine. The only difficult thing to survive while exploring this location is the crushing disappointment in my soul. Bethesda did it. It's all here. The concept, the build-up, the visuals, the atmosphere, the sound. This area should have been a real challenge for everyone to explore. Yet you can go there right after finishing the game's fucking tutorial. What's worse is you don't even need the power armor to explore this location. Look, I took all my clothes off, swallowed one Rad X, which I had 28 by the time I got to this location, as they're about as rare as Skittles at a diabetic convention. No, stop, this makes no sense. And everything was fine.
Every one of the bags you threw hit me in the head.
And what's even worse is when you do explore it with your 20 Radaway, 76 Rad X, and 7 suits of full power armor, there is nothing here. Remember that glowing location we spent this whole time thinking about? What could be there? What interesting characters? What exciting development is this thing with no one inside with more dialogue than...
Atom has provided
Jingle
us
jangle.
with all that we need.
Disappointing. 1 out of 10. Retake the exam. Game. Remake the game. It just gets to the stage where you don't really want to explore anymore. You see a big looming building off in the distance and you are literally filled with dread.
The longer the note, the more dread.
Because you know all that's going to be there if you're lucky is a few computer logs, a magazine, and literally hordes of raiders with stockpiles of missile launchers,
What's up, bro? You going to play Fallout 4 tomorrow? Yep. Tomorrow, well, not tomorrow, Monday. On the weekend, I'll do like a members only stream, probably react to some shit, more lores. But on Monday, I'll start a whole new episode series era. It'll be all Fallout 4 Game of the Year edition. I already have a thumbnail ready for that shit. It's going to be fun. Right now, though, we are just... Yeah, it's going to be fun as hell. I'm going to be running on mods, though. I need to get a... whatchamacallit set up. I need to get the settlement setup, and unlimited companions as well. I need to get as many companions as possible. I'm going to just run through it. I'm going to put it on the heaviest difficulty, too. I need a mod where it's just difficult as hell. Because I'm not going to lie, sometimes it's just so easy. It's crazy. I don't know how long the Fallout 4 era is going to last, but it's going to be a fucking while for sure. Fallout 3 and Fallout New Vegas lasted like a month each, but this is going to be different. Crazy shit.
Man's flamers, miniguns, cannons, Gatling lasers, Gauss rifles, Tesla rifles, plasma rifle. I did find some X01 power armor though, which
Is kinda cool, I guess.
one of my favorite locations in Fallout 3 for various reasons was the Dunwich building. The main reason I liked it so much was because the sound design and slow pace created an immensely spooky atmosphere. There's actually a location in Fallout 4 which is a reference to this called the Dunwich Borers. And it's a great comparison to show how Fallout 4 ruins everything. You enter the Dunwich Borers and immediately you can see the problem, because this place is absolutely...
I'm definitely going to be playing on Monday for sure. Tomorrow is going to be another run through. I might hop back on 3 just to fuck around and do an evil little quick run through, but the ending was so stupid, bro. I just see Autumn, I shoot a fucking nuke, hit the fucking wall and blow up. It's like, damn. And then I also had to pick Lion's daughter. I was like, nah, you do it. That's pretty fucked up. I'm not gonna lie. But it's like, it is what it is. Like, my dad just died. Like, your dad now has to suffer the same fate of seeing you die. So, I mean, like, you know, you did it for a cause. Adam is referencing the base game, but the only way you can actually see and do more stuff for Adam is if you have Far Harbor. Yeah, that's going to be the fun part, bro. We have all the DLCs, so it's going to be a crazy run through. Can't wait to see you play Oblivion. That would be fun. Have you played through the entire story before? Nah, I have not played Oblivion completely. I've only played 5 episodes, but I'm going to restart because after I'm done with the Fallout run through, it's going to suck, though, when I do 76 because I don't know the lore on that is crazy, but I'm going to have a full-on multiplayer run-through where we could all just go crazy on there. But I'm looking forward to the Elder Scrolls run-through. Crazy timing, very crazy timing. We have them all for Xbox right now. We have Skyrim, Oblivion, and Morrowind. And we're going to do a whole run-through of that after we're done with the Fallout series. Now, I might do a whole run back, though. I don't know. One thing I used to wonder is about if Unity is related to the Church of Adam. Yeah, that would be pretty crazy. I feel like that has some type of connection. I wish I could do a Fallout 1 run-through. I'm not going to lie. The Master is an interesting, like, way too interesting story. But it just, they won't ever do a, I don't know. I'd have to run a poll on that and see. Because that would be way after the Elder Scrolls run-through. Because I might switch up the Dark Souls, but I'm thinking I keep it Bethesda this whole year and just go crazy and do a season 2. But when I do Fallout New Vegas and Fallout 3 run through again, I will have Game of the Year on for sure on both of them, Ultimate Edition, and we're gonna just go evil mode. I'm gonna pick the Legion and I'm gonna pick Enclave if I can. I don't even know if that's possible.
Crammed with gunners all the way through. I just don't get it. How are you
Bro,
supposed
gunners
to
are
feel
so
alone
annoying.
when there's enough people here to fill one giant dog meat? Not to mention there are dozens of ghouls, spotlights, turrets. Turrets in a horror location? Are you mental?
Yeah,
Wow,
now that I have all the
atmospheric.
DLCs, it's gonna be fun
Could
as
you
hell.
imagine if the
I've
Dunwich
never had any
building was
DLCs
filled
for
with
any of the
turrets?
Fallout
This
games,
is really
so this is gonna be
scary. I
fun.
wonder what's around the next corner? Oh goody. Sure, it doesn't seem so bad, but every time I start to feel slightly immersed, a new fight inevitably starts up. Drums from a fucking Michael Bay epic roar up. Michael. And I'm flanked on all sides by gunners, machine guns, and turrets. And after every single fight, the drums end
Yeah,
in
76
one giant,
is not-
massive crescendo to signal
But I'm gonna
it's
have to do a
over.
playthrough of it though, regardless. Now music carried.
Wait, are those more turrets?
Yeah, I can't switch up
Constantly
from
throughout this
Bethesda.
game, you have to wage hundreds of wars bigger than the Battle of Hoover Dam just to find out if any single character worth meeting is in any single location, and it's so exhausting. And this, of course, is largely because of... I've mentioned before that in the previous games, the combat was pretty clunky. Not only did this give the games their unique feel, it meant you could never really be presented with that many enemies at once. The joy of this was that you usually had to strategize using mines and other makeshift weapons to get through the janky fights. It also meant that you had to rely on that, because aiming without it was as natural as Fallout 4's facial animations. I find that I don't really ever use VATS or explosives in Fallout 4 because the easiest solution to all my problems
No,
is,
bro,
well, what you can see
what?
on screen, other makeshift weapons to
Good,
get through the
good.
janky fights. It also meant that you had to rely on VATS because aiming without it was as natural as Fallout 4's facial animations.
Good. Good.
I find that I don't really ever use VATS or explosives in Fallout 4 because the easiest solution to all my problems is, well, what you can see on screen. Can you feel how bored I am? So to compensate for how easy and simplistic the combat is now, Bethesda has at least tripled the amount of enemies to make the game more difficult. The problem is every weapon and combat effect in this game creates so much impact and movement